So first,
Absolutely.
and I was
Let's dig it all up.
oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar. Yes.
And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is also podcast in the city edition. I almost said Summer House. That's not right. This is in the city. Season 1, episode 6. And guys, I didn't want to throat punch Kenny this episode. Can you believe?
Wow.
He's not winning me over by any means, but I didn't hate him.
But he's not digging the grave more.
He will probably, and listen, this is subject to change depending on how we speak and what we decide. He might not be my kick out to the suburbs.
Wow. That would be 2 weeks in a row.
I know. You can't kick a man while he's looking for his father, you know what I mean? That seems hard.
Well, you could, but he's doing it in the right way.
Yes.
He's not kickable.
Private investigator was a waste of money and time and resources.
Yep.
Okay, before we get into the episode, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description, and please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, Meredith, so previously on In the City, we did a guerrilla marketing bar crawl for Loverboy. Danielle is upset that she's being called a homewrecker, and Amanda insinuates that that's the truth, and they fought. Kenny hired a PI to find his dad, who is alive and well in Florida, and we find Debbie, his wife. Amanda moved out and got mad that Kyle didn't want to hang out with her their last night together, and she left. And if you look in the elevator when Amanda's leaving, the sign above her says west, which I know is a direction, but isn't that funny?
Whoa.
I watched it 3 times to make sure, so go back.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so let's start out in Fide. We are at Kyle's apartment. Amanda has moved out, and she's out for a year. But her shit that's still scattered around this apartment could have paid her rent if she sold it. My God, she has so much shit.
So much. I remember on Summer House when Kyle said, like, he called her mom to come clean their apartment. And we were like, why would you do that? That's crazy. I assumed it was like a box or 2 of stuff in the living room. I have one right now. This is insane.
This is crazy. If it's in your bathtub or your shower, it's too much. I don't care if you have multiple.
Only there,
I don't care.
I wouldn't rag on her. It's that it's in the bathtub. It's all over the guest bed. There's stuff in the living room. There's stuff all over their bedroom. Like every nook and cranny has all this crap.
I feel like a shower or bathtub is a last resort. If you put it in there for a second as you're moving shit around, fine. If it stays in your shower or bathtub, I don't care if you have another one. That is the weirdest, like you just know you're overflowing at that point.
That says we are never having guests.
The fact that the guest bedroom is like piled with shit. This would drive me nuts. And let me tell you, I am a little messy, okay? Sometimes I don't put everything always where it's supposed to go.
Same.
I live alone. I have 2 couches. One of my couches is all the clothes I think about wearing and then don't and just leave them there. And like, that happens, okay? At the same time, like, I could never live like this, especially with another person.
My house is messy, not dirty.
Same.
And if I needed somebody to come over, I could get all of my stuff up, like the clothes
within a
day.
The
little clutter within a few hours. Like
a few hours, and then I could clean it spotless. Like,
yes.
This is crazy. She must be so embarrassed to have people over. She must never.
They don't.
This is so embarrassing, honestly. Anyway. So then we go to Amanda's new apartment. The apartment's completely empty. This is the nicest that it's looked in, like her apartment has looked in ever. Amanda truly believes that moving out will save her relationship. And did you see that insane outdoor space or what?
You cannot say that you want to save this marriage and sign a year lease. Like, you will never convince me of that.
Yeah, that's what's necessary. She's like hoping she becomes one of those couples, you know, that divorce and then come back in 30 years and they're all like better now. And it's like a love story for the ages. That's not realistic, girl.
Yeah, what did she? I want her to be honest because I can tell by her demeanor this entire episode that she does not want this to work.
Mm-hmm.
But she keeps saying it, and I'm like, it's just not working for me.
Mm-hmm. But Amanda's really happy she doesn't have to deal with a man bringing strangers home, which that's fair.
Oh
or
my God.
Waiting up for him to come home.
One time he doesn't, and it's the night before you're leaving. Like, sorry, my standards have changed because, like, you're moving out anyways.
Yeah, the general statement, agree. You don't have to worry about strangers coming home. That's ideal.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. And then Amanda's trying to talk to the moving guy. She's like, hey, man, like, have you ever moved anyone with no furniture? And he couldn't care less. He's like, no.
Oh, my God.
Gotta
this
go.
is the most awkward thing ever because she's, like, trying to be cute or funny, being like, oh, my God, so crazy what my life is. And it's like, Amanda, these are all of your own choices. And no, it's not that crazy for him to move boxes. He just wants to move your shit and get paid.
I love a pretty person who gets denied like a good banter. You know what I mean? By someone they deem like, oh, they should want to flirt with me.
Them.
Yeah. And then it's like, nah, girl, just pay my bill. Let's get out. I don't care if you have furniture or not.
You can't always be pretty and funny. There's a small subset of people who can be both, but it's very rare.
And they're both here on this podcast, so give up.
Well, we're definitely funny. People can decide on the pretty.
We're beautiful. That's subjective. I think we're gorgeous. Okay. I say this as like I haven't showered today, so shout out. Anyway, so now we go to Gramercy Park, which I did have to look this up because I was like, I thought the neighborhood was just called Gramercy, but there is a park called Gramercy Park. So yes. I'm wondering if they live near the park or if they just named the neighborhood.
The park because if you live in the apartments or surrounding it, you get a key to it, and it's like very exclusive.
Maybe that's where they live.
I didn't know how big this area was. I just know the concept of the park.
Yeah, Gramercy is a neighborhood, so I didn't know.
Damn,
but
I
did look it
with
up.
That park.
Good for them.
Incredible.
Who's them, you might ask? It's Nick and Yvonne. They're officially gonna get married.
This is so funny to me.
They have a dog named Jackson, and Nick's going to wear a shirt with Jackson's face, and Jackson the dog is going to wear a tux or whatever.
I was concerned about this at the beginning. When I saw him, like, show that, I was like, that is not what you're wearing. But I will say, when he has the suit jacket on, it's less of the print. It doesn't look as...
It's pretty ugly.
I don't give a fuck about this event.
So they got married in Mexico, never officially in the U.S. And you know what I thought about?
What?
That next wedding in Mexico was Lindsay and Carl, and it never happened.
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
Like, crazy that they got engaged around the same time, planned their weddings at the same time, and they both decided to do Mexico weddings.
Yeah.
One obviously happened. Well, actually, technically, neither happened.
Yeah. Well, I have a friend who went to a Mexico wedding, loved it so much, and then a few years later, she had her wedding at the same exact Mexican. And I was like, damn, I wonder if they're even at the same resort.
Wow.
Probably not, because I don't think Lindsay would do that. But the idea that they both were to get married in Mexico as best friends.
I mean, crazy. Lindsay had one up on Yvonne because she was going to have Dustin Lynch perform. So
that
Yvonne, that didn't happen.
Definitely not. Now that Nick and Yvonne have decided it's time to start a family, it's also time to get officially married, and they're stuck with each other. They can't go find their husbands at the club anymore.
Good God, that
miserable.
Actually, hearing that also made me miserable, and I am single. I'm
not finding husbands at the club. Terrible.
Not the place you're gonna find them, first off. But hey, listen, Amanda might have found hers in the NYC bars or the NYU bars. So what do I know?
West Village, everyone. What a time. Okay, so Lindsay's going to be the witness at their New York courtyard wedding. Yvonne knows that Lindsay's over Carl, but she sometimes feels bad inviting Lindsay to stuff because they got engaged around the same time. They were on the same timeline to get married, and then like that all fell apart for Lindsay. Whereas Yvonne, it's all happening, to quote Sheena Shea. Yeah. But Lindsay's always been very supportive of Yvonne and never expressed that she was sad that all these things were happening to her friend and not her. And Lindsay's also very vocal about wanting to have fun and dating, but Yvonne knows that deep down, Lindsay just wants to find her person, which I'm sure that's true for like everyone, right? In a perfect world, I would love my person to fall from the sky in my apartment and be like ideal for me. Sure thing. But like, it doesn't always happen that way. And sometimes you need to heal and
Yeah.
date. And yeah.
I like that Yvonne is conscious of it because we have seen
Same.
Lindsay very focused on wanting to find a partner over the 10 plus years we've watched her on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But she got her happy ending when it came to Gemma. So I don't think Lindsay's as pressed. I think it's like second tier in her life now because
Yeah.
I think she always wanted the guy to then have the family. So
I think so too.
she's doing it in the reverse, and that's completely okay.
And like, like, what was I even gonna say? I like that Yvonne is like also conscious of Lindsay maybe feeling a type
Yeah.
of way
I think
about it.
because of them having to or do it in a similar timeline, it's just more apparent. Like, I don't think
Yes.
Yvonne would feel this bad or be this worried if she had gotten married like 3 years prior to Lindsay, obviously.
Agreed. But I also think that's like a good friend because
Yeah.
you also
Oh, yeah.
you have to take people like what they say sometimes, right? And Lindsay says, I want to have fun. I don't mind being your support system. I think both those things are true, but I also think it's nice when your friends maybe realize things about you that you're not realizing or that you don't want to admit, you know?
I was about to say that you're not going to say out loud. It's nice for them to try to read between the lines
Yes.
and see. They know you so well that they can kind of see the subtleties and maybe if you're lying to yourself and others.
It's not required, but it's always nice when a friend does that.
100%.
Okay, so now we go to NoHo. We're at Kenny and Whitney's apartment. Kenny's freaking out because he's going to call his dad today, and Whitney's trying to calm him down. So last night, Whitney found Debbie online as the PI who never got paid. And Debbie is Kenny's father, Larry's wife. And so Debbie and Kenny talked last night. Apparently, Larry was bowling. He left his phone at
busy.
home. That'd be also a wild call to get if you were at bowling if he did have his phone.
Oh my God. But okay,
That would have been
Larry,
hilarious.
because Larry forgot, I think, his phone at home.
He didn't.
Larry gets home and Debbie's like, hey, I talked to your son.
Yeah. Hey, how was bowling?
That's
Your son
crazy.
called. But I think it would have been insane if Larry had answered like, hello, and Kenny's like, hey, it's me. And Larry's like, oh shit, I'm at the bowling alley. That hilarious.
He would have ruined bowling for Larry that night. Ugh.
So they set up a call for Kenny and Larry to chat. The last time Kenny talked to his dad was 25 years ago. It's now time to call. Whitney says she's going to go in the office, but spoiler, she listens and creeps in the whole
Obsessed.
time.
I would
10
do
out
the
of
same.
10. 10 out of 10. So we call dad. Larry is thrilled to hear from Kenny. He's so emotional. Larry thanks Kenny for finding him. It's just like a very emotional phone call. I teared up during it just listening to Kenny
It's
talk
just
about how
kind of wild how this came to be, though.
like in like how we found Debbie and everything.
Yeah, it just happened so fast.
Yeah. But I was tearing up when Kenny was talking about how he didn't know how Larry would respond because you're calling your dad out of the blue. But Larry is so happy to hear from Kenny and he apologizes for losing so many years. Larry says,
I loved that.
Yeah, Larry says he was searching for Kenny too. They're both crying, but all that matters is that they're here now and they're happy to be reconnected. And Kenny wants to bring his dad up to New York. It was like a very nice moment.
I agree. I think I would be way more standoffish with my parent that I haven't talked to in 25 years. And so I commend both of them, but especially Kenny for being so open and wanting to like hit the ground running and be like, I want to see you. Like, I'll fly you up here. I'll get you a hotel. Like, I think that's beautiful.
I was thinking about that too, because not to make it about me, but I wouldn't say abandonment issues because like my parent never abandoned me, but like a very close family member did. And first of all, I'm still resentful because I'm a petty bitch and I don't care. But I think it like says a lot of Kenny who doesn't have resentment and is very like open to getting to know his dad again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it just shows a lot on like Kenny's character and his ability to like process his grief in a way that makes him less resentful. But also it sounds like there wasn't a bad falling out. It was just like it kind of just happened.
Weird. Because of the distance. And like that was really the problem. We didn't have the technology we have today to be able to like stay in contact. So I think because he had to just like fly to England that was just like a big ask for a kid who
Yeah.
doesn't see this person ever and has no other contact. So it's like, I
Mhm.
want to choose my life. I don't want to have to go to England for 2 weeks and spend time with this person I don't know. And
Yeah.
his mom like let him. And I think that's great. But we do know that he also does have issues without having his father in the home. So it's like,
Mhm.
it's such an interesting dynamic of
It
knowing that there
is.
are issues because his dad kind of did abandon him
Mhm.
while it not being some like big blow up where he walked out on them or something. Like clearly it was like probably for work or like something that made sense
Yeah.
whenever it first happened.
I'd also say I feel like that speaks a lot on Kenny's mom as well, because
Yeah,
she probably, it sounds like, never spoke badly about the dad. Like, Kenny doesn't
very
have
good
a negative
point.
opinion on his father. So, like, there probably wasn't any trash talking. It was just like, these are the circumstances and, like, it's okay. Which I
Yeah,
think is
that's
also
so
incredible.
true.
Mm-hmm. Which is hard. Because, listen, if I was a mom, which I'm not, I feel like I'd be pissed if my kid's dad, even if
Wasn't
we didn't have the
around.
technology, but like, bro, you have a child. You should fly in and like see him once in a while. Do a long
Yeah, I
distance
know.
call. What are we doing? You know? But I'm a resentful bitch and like I
It's
don't
tricky, but
listen to
you're so
me.
right. Like that it his mom probably didn't really speak of the dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so very interesting. Anyway, now we go to Williamsburg, Danielle and Owen's apartment. Danielle's mom, Ada, is here. Her mom lives in New Jersey, so she comes over on the same day, same time every week. And she
This
always
is
brings
so
Danielle stuff. I
cute.
know. She brought her some clothes, laundry, some olive oil. And man, if Ada isn't my mom does this bullshit. And I love her. And I get what
Yeah.
Danielle was saying. We're like, sometimes your mom just needs to feel like she's taking care of you. Oh my
Yeah.
God. My mom does that all the time. She'll send me something. I'll be like, I don't even need this. And she's like, no, but like, you'll want it.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
so
great.
cute.
Thank you.
When she said like you didn't have olive oil last time, I was like, "Oh my God." Danielle's like,
Some
"I
bullshit.
sorry I ran out 5 seconds probably before
Yeah.
you came here."
That's some bullshit
Ugh.
my mom would pull. Yeah.
I love a parent on a especially like on a Bravo show, but especially like the Summer House crew. We always loved seeing their families. That since this is an extension and a spin-off of Summer House, I'm like, give me all the parents. And we got
I
so
know.
many this episode.
Oh, I love. Okay, so we need to make room for Owen spelled Eon to be more comfortable in this apartment. So Danielle and Ada are gonna try and get rid of some clothes. And let me tell you, the amount of white shirts Danielle has,
This is
crazy.
insane. This is rivaling Whitney's like 17 black shirts. Like
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, how do these people have so many clothes?
so many white tops. It's a lot of white. I always spill on my shirt.
Same.
So a white to have that many options to spill on is like anxiety ridden.
Yeah, how do you have so many? Because the minute I spill on it, I'm like, all right, this is going in the
Donate.
trash.
Yeah, I can't take it out. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so Ada loves Owen spelled Eon so much that she's gonna try and make room for him. They collectively get rid of like maybe 3 shirts.
Yeah, I know.
And then they're like, what a day. Let's sit down with some wine, right? So it's been 6 months of Danielle and Owen. Owen tells Danielle that the divorce is moving along. So that's like all she really knows about it, which I don't know if in real time they are divorced, but they have a child. So at this point.
Good question about his divorce. We're going to have to look that up for the reunion. Maybe we'll look it up if it's not addressed in the second reunion.
There you go. Ada knows Danielle is getting a lot of hate about dating Owen with the divorce happening, which it's always like really sad when parents, I think even if your child like deserves it, I think it's really sad when
Yeah.
parents have to see what people are saying about their child.
This one's even more tough because it's like we're blaming
It's
the
not
woman
true.
who's
I
not
know.
married for something that like she has nothing to do with.
Yeah, it's not on her.
No.
And she's not a homewrecker, guys, so
No. Even if she like was, I don't fucking care because it didn't happen on this show. I'm gonna be honest.
and also
Like
she
if
was
it's when it's like side people we don't know, I don't care.
And like to be honest, I hate the term homewrecker because what about the person that ruined the home, that wrecked the home, is the person that was married. Let's be
100%.
fucking for real.
100%. Yeah, it's not Danielle in this situation. If there was overlap, it's Owen spelled Eon.
Yeah. So Danielle knows this divorce is a big deal, but she feels like it's this dark cloud over their relationship. And the question is basically like, does Danielle care too much about what people are saying? Or does she too want the divorce to move forward so then her and Owen can also like move forward in their relationship?
And let's be honest, it's both.
Yeah. And that's fine.
You have every right to want your partner to not be married
divorced
anymore.
Yeah,
but
100%.
you have to be understanding that like the legal process can take a bit.
Yeah. And even if you are in the public eye, it's automatically going to come with people saying shit about you, but you have a right to not like what people are saying and for it to bother you, especially if it's not true, like something like this.
Yeah.
So Ada reaffirms Danielle that her relationship is not wrong and what they're doing is not the wrong thing. And she can see how happy Danielle is with Owen spelled Eon, and anyone who makes her kids happy is good with her. So Ada tells Danielle to be supportive and patient.
I love this. To be honest, this made me like Owen/Eon more. Because, like, mom has the approval, and this didn't feel forced or fake. It felt like she really does like him. And then they were flashing all those photos with her and, like, the two of them. I think that this did wonders on fixing the homewrecker narrative from last episode.
And let me tell you, a Latin mother, that shit's hard to get okay with, okay? Especially if you're a white man. So
very good point.
This was great. This was the fact that she loves Owen spelled Eon so much.
Yeah. I immediately thought, though, what did she think of Robert?
I do wonder.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we ever discussed.
She mentioned something about Owen and like, oh, like, he makes you happier than like your past relationships, and it's like, oh, it's easy to speak ill of, you know, like past flames.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I wonder if she liked Robert or not, because him and Danielle were together for like 5 years.
It's possible she liked him at first, and then because we even saw Danielle be like kind of unhappy in that relationship.
Yeah.
She like slowly, like I always say, until you give me a reason to not like you, especially like with my friends' relationships. Yeah. Like I'll wait. And then once you give me a reason, I'll hold on to that. And so maybe Ado is kind of like slowly noting like, okay, Robert's going down.
Yeah, my daughter's not as happy. This isn't working anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now we go to Brooklyn Heights. Guys, I didn't know they were getting married in Brooklyn. This is right near me.
That's so funny. I wonder why they did that.
Oh, probably a shorter line or something.
Very good point.
But it's wedding day. And Lindsay, as the witness, maid of honor, best man, everything.
She's everything. She's the florist. She's literally everything.
She brought Yvonne a bouquet and a boutonniere for Nick. And she's here to be the witness, the photographer. She's pumped.
I love this. This is a best friend.
This is friendship.
Like the way Yvonne was so concerned about Lindsay's feelings, like it's reciprocated with how much Lindsay is showing up for her. And Nick calls her the Swiss Army like knife of Hub House today. I'm like, you're so right. She's doing everything.
100%. And she feels honored. Like she talks about how her and Yvonne will always be together and they'll always be friends. And basically maybe Nick's the third wheel in this relationship. Obsessed. Because like she is so honored to be here and be with her friend. They do have to wait a while at the courthouse. Yvonne is not happy to wait.
No.
She's like, I can't believe.
That first paper she got, she's like, am I married yet? Like, are we done here? Can I go?
They're like, no, have you never seen a courthouse wedding? You have to go into a room and say, I do. All
and,
you
like,
did was sign
the
your
line
name.
And no, this is gonna be a 3-hour venture.
So to pass the time, they ask Lindsay about Frank the milkman. And Lindsay tells them that her, Frank, Andrea, and Lexi went on a double date to make some pasta. Can I tell you?
Where the fuck is that footage?
No, literally show that. But also, Andrea, I love you so much. I'm obsessed with you. I also, just as a side note, I had a dream about Andrea recently.
Was it good?
I pictured him very muscular and like ginormous. Ooh. And we were dating. And when he hugged me, he basically like his body ate me up. And then I woke up and it was like the worst moment of my life. Anyway, Andrea, if you're on a date with someone and you don't know the vibes, because I don't know about Lindsay and Milkman, but Andrea is sitting there going, that's so romantic. I'd be like, Andrea, shut the fuck up.
No, I'm like, I think Andrea's pushing this hard because he's the one who introduced them, and I think he thinks that that's fun to introduce people, and it is.
It is fun.
You can't force it. You have to like let it be a natural match, not because you wanted it to happen.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Lindsay did not have sex with Frank the Milkman. She is still a virgin.
When she said that language, I cracked up. But
I
the
love.
more I see of them, the more I think about her and the milkman, the less I like it.
I actually just got, because I'm watching, for those who don't know, The Real Housewives of Orange County. I'm catching up. I'm on season 14. But in season 13, they were doing a recap and the reunion of everything that happened. And that was, I saw Frank the Milkman
Perfect
and I
timing.
jump scare, But Yvonne is skeptical of Milkman,
As
which
she
is
should
fair.
be.
Which is,
Yeah.
yes, he sells milk, okay? The other
And we
milkman
know
on
he's been on another
Bravo,
Bravo show. So,
that.
like, that already is a little, like some flags are raising off that.
And he's the second milkman ever on Bravo.
That's true. And the
I
first
mean,
one
I
was an
think he
OF
was
content
first.
creator.
I think Frank was actually first.
Yeah, but he wasn't a milkman at the time.
You're right. He instead talked to Kelly Dodd about taquitos and tacos and burritos.
Yeah.
He's a freak,
he was
dude.
on Bravo first prior to O'Sheen, but
he's the second
milkman.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we go to Fi-Dye. We're at Amanda's apartment with the insane outdoor space. I'll never get over it. Her apartment's already a mess. She's been here 7 minutes.
Oh my God.
It's in the shower. It's in the shower, the bathtub. You cannot have more than one bathroom in this apartment. You cannot convince me you do.
I immediately thought you wanted 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, so you could just destroy the place completely.
What the fuck? Dude, this is crazy.
I don't get this. Because, okay, again, if you're temporarily using the bathroom, or that's the only storage place you're using, and you put, like, all your boxes in that bathroom, because for a month, nobody's going to use it, and you can, like, visually have a clean space, you can convince me of that. No, she's a disaster everywhere.
She doesn't have any furniture. She has plenty of room for the boxes.
Yes.
And maybe if you put them in front of you, you would remember to unpack.
I'm an immediate unpacker. Like, the minute I get into the space, I start opening things up. I start, like, putting it in the right room.
Organizing.
I can't look at this. This actually stressed me out more than 100%. Kyle and her's apartment.
So, Mr. Frank Batula is here. And Frank Batula is a scary man, let me tell you.
I know, but because it's, like, Amanda doing wrong, I'm like, I'm not going to get what I want from Frank.
No, here's the thing. If we're going to be honest, I got the ick on Frank because Amanda talks about how she has her mom's heart, but her dad's personality. And her dad is her protector. And he even put himself in her phone as Big Daddy.
No. Ugh. No, because how old was she when that happened?
Ew. Yeah. Big Daddy is so...
Can you imagine? It's like her first cell phone. She's like 10 years old and that's what he puts his name as?
That is so not even funny. I think it's weird because my dad's name in my phone is... Oh my God, I hate saying Daddy.
That you have to say this.
Oh, it's terrible.
Just
but like,
say it.
It's Daddy. But Big Daddy's crazy. And I'm about to change my dad's to his first. I'm going Joe at this point because I'm over it. This gave me a hit.
My parents are their first and last name because that's what I search for.
I'm about to do it. I can't. Okay, so she shows him the insane outdoor space, which you can't smoke in, which Frank says, good thing you don't smoke. Am I right?
Ha ha ha. Ha. Listen, no shade in her wanting to smoke either.
Unpack and then smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Smoke
Get
while
a couch,
you unpack.
Babe. Yeah.
Anything. But she's telling Frank, she's like, I sat out here with the dog and the sun just hit our faces. And I was like,
she acts like she's been in prison for 6 years.
Who the fuck cares? You could have had the sun any day of the week. Go to the park.
I guess her and Kyle didn't have outdoor space, but babe, go lay in a park.
90% of New Yorkers don't have outdoor space.
Yeah.
And you get plenty of sun. This woman never left the confines of her apartment.
No.
She never did.
But then she's blaming Kyle for it. And I'm like, okay, you are a full-fledged adult. You have free will.
No, he took the keys and he said, you'll never see the light of day, Cinderella. You're trapped.
You didn't have to get a year lease in order to see the outside.
She became Rapunzel. Send down your hair, literally.
God.
Okay, so Amanda tells Frank that this is a temporary move, but Kyle's been like so annoying about this shit.
Again,
because
she's got to cut it with the temporary move when she signed a year lease.
No, hey, we can only take people at their face value for I don't know. I don't know what to do with it.
My big thing is, why is nobody asking, are you intending to stay in this apartment for the entire year? Or are you going to try and find a subletter if things go better between you and Kyle?
They're going to do a full year. She can't give up that insane outdoor space, Meredith.
Not
Did you
the
see it?
outdoor space.
The outdoor space. So Kyle's main issue with Amanda has always been the clutter. We've heard about it for years,
And now we've seen it.
Listen, Frank is aware. Frank Petula, he knows. So when we cut to Kyle's apartment, where Amanda's shit is growing like mold, let me tell you.
Oh my God. I was very concerned because it looks like she didn't move out any
She didn't
of
move
it.
at all. For a year, what'd she take? What did she take?
She had so many boxes in the new apartment, and she still has so much shit all over Kyle's apartment.
It must have been empty because I don't know what she took. But Kyle, his decision, he is acknowledging to stay out the last night of him and Amanda together. It was a knee-jerk reaction. He knows that he disrespected the marriage. But
Okay,
obviously,
I stand on it was marathon day, and that was so valid.
no, I agree. I stand with Kyle on that one. But Kyle's main issue now is there was no packing during Marathon Sunday.
Yeah.
No packing. Because what the fuck did she take? So he needs Amanda's shit out, okay? It is giving him anxiety. He needs to call this place home again. He's hired organizers to like clear shit out because he is
100% back his decision.
Yeah.
Because when I am at my most chaotic mentally, I can see visually that my apartment is also a mess. And cleaning it up immediately helps me feel centered and organized. And he also has a separation on his plate that I cannot imagine how out of control he feels.
Agreed. And listen up, put this on record. Anyone leaves their shit in my apartment, you have 3 days and 2 nights to get it out before I get rid of it for you. How about that?
Start the clock. 3 business days.
My gosh. The only clutter in my apartment allowed is my own, okay?
Seriously, like honestly, because it is technically like their apartment still, if you want to leave a few things or you have some stuff in the closet, fine. But your shit I shouldn't visually be able to see your shit anywhere. No. It should be packed away somewhere.
You moved out?
You have 2 whole closets, you got 2 whole bedrooms, you got 2 bathrooms, because we know you love to store things in a bathroom. Clear it out. Come get your shit now. You had movers.
What did they move?
What did they move?
That guy.
No wonder she's wearing West Wilson's clothes all over New York City. She didn't take any of hers from Kyle.
Oh, when I tell you, if I was Kyle and that news dropped of West and Amanda, I would have thrown her shit right onto the streets. I would have said, you better come get it. You had
Kyle
months,
is such
girl.
a little bitch. He has a lot to say, and then he has no action and follow through. That in his People article in June, he was like, yeah, you can come get the rest of your shit now, you and your boyfriend. But like, I bet it's still sitting there to this day.
The way I would have hired movers and said, take them to this address.
Yep.
Hope she's home. If not, you just leave it on the street.
Her the bill for all the back rent. Send her the mover's fee.
Hell yeah. Okay, so now we go to Amanda's apartment. We're cutting back, and Amanda's telling Frank how Kyle has issues with her not taking enough stuff. And Frank's advice is to tell Kyle to give it a breath. Okay, Amanda just moved out, even though she hired movers.
My thing, though, is it's a communication thing. If you're not like fully moving out, then like you need to say that. But like she proposed this as like she is moving out basically all of her shit.
It's also disrespectful to be like, I'm moving out, I'm leaving you with the mess, you're still forced to see all my shit, and also I'm not going to tell you if and when I'm going to move anything else out. You'll just have to wait.
It's another one of the decisions she's just unilaterally made with no regard for him at all.
Yeah. So Frank Petula asks if maybe Kyle is resentful that Amanda has moved out.
You think?
He's under the assumption that this was a mutual decision. And Amanda tells him that she definitely was spearheading it, and Kyle agreed that something had to change. So Kyle didn't want this specifically, but he is forced to understand. So
this is what pisses me off. If we talked about this all season that we've been recording this, that Amanda is faking standing on business and having these little quippy lines, because here's the moment to stand on business and say, no, I wanted this separation. I told him we're having this separation. I think we needed a big change, so I made the big change. why you lying now? It's caught on camera.
It also seems weird because, so all summer, right, even before the West and Amanda of it all, I was saying that Amanda was Katie Holmes and Kyle. She was getting all her shit in order so that she could divorce him with like little to no issue, right? And with that, I would think she would talk to her parents and be like, she even stayed a weekend back, and I was like, maybe she's talking to her parents and being like, getting ready. This doesn't seem like a conversation to have with your parents if you were Katie Holmesing someone. And also, not moving all your shit out also makes it seem that you don't have anything planned.
I don't know what her MO is. I don't get it. Nothing like tracks. It's clear she does not want to be in this marriage, but she's not willing to say it out loud. And you could convince me that she's not willing to say it out loud on camera because she doesn't want to deal with the repercussions of that. But yeah, even with her parents, like not really being up to speed, it's just all weird. She has no backbone anywhere for herself, really for her marriage. Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it, but there's something I don't like. Anyway, Amanda's parents and Kyle do not have the best relationship. If you're new here for some reason and you didn't watch Summer House, let me tell you, the second Amanda told her parents that Kyle had cheated, Frank Petula said, "Why are you still with him?"
Yeah, it was done from there on.
Frank is Kyle's number one op, okay? For sure. Even if he says, fine, you love my daughter, I still think my daughter should break up with you, right?
Absolutely. That's a thing where the minute you tell your family what's really going on in a relationship, you can never take it back. And this is clear as day.
Yeah, but here's my other thing. Like, I don't know if I would... I know we're on a TV show, so it's going to come out that Kyle was unfaithful, right? So Amanda had to tell her parents. But also the way in which she had told them, I'll never forget it. Because if I was still making the decision to stay with my partner, I would be like, look, he was unfaithful. I understand that that's bad. However, this, that, and the other, he loves me. We're going to work through it. This is my decision. She literally was just like, yeah, Kyle sucks. And then Frank got mad and she's like, I'm not going to leave him. She did like no damage control for Kyle.
I know. Because you're right. Like, if you're going to stay with him,
that's
your family has to be around him and your partner has to be around your family. So why not try to make that better? She loves when other people is mad at Kyle for her because like she doesn't hold up any of the anger that she has towards him.
Yeah, she just lets it like simmer, and then when everyone's mad at Kyle, she's like, yeah. but Kyle can't then get mad at her for being mad at him because
it's not her fault.
Yeah, she's not.
He's the one who
cheated.
Mad. So then it like goes through the cycle of like, you cheated. Everybody's mad at you because you have what you did. Amanda like fuels the fire. Everybody gets mad at Kyle again.
You know what? As we're talking about it, and I'm like, I don't get Amanda. She seems like the type of person that wants someone to like make the decision for her. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, you know how they say, like, oh, guys, like, never will break up with a girl. They're going to do everything they can to then make you break up with them. That's what this is kind of giving.
That, but also it's like, in Summer House when Sierra was like, you tell me when to show up and I'll move you out. She doesn't want to tell Sierra to do that. She just wants Sierra to show up me like, we're moving you out. And she'll be like, oh, okay. Right? She doesn't want her
Sierra's
parents...
decision.
Yeah, she doesn't want her parents to be like, oh, why are you still with Kyle? She wants them to be like, break up with Kyle. Because she even says, she's like, what were my parents gonna do? Like, tell me what to do? Like, they're gonna let me make my own decisions. And it's like, no, because you're an adult. No one's gonna tell you what to do. That's crazy. But
she wants someone to come in and like save her.
Save her. Which... Hello, West Wilson, I guess.
Welcome to the party, West Wilson.
Yeah, but shout out Frank Petula for letting Amanda make her own decisions. I hope it works.
And I was like, she's about to go and make those decisions in a really bad way.
But again,
wintertime.
There's no she's like, it just happened. And I take no responsibility in regards to what are we talking about? You know what I mean?
It's like when you get decision fatigue and so all you want is somebody to like choose what you're going to have for dinner and like make it for you and all that stuff. But it's like her entire life is that.
Her entire life is that. Where she, even with Wes, right? He was the one that was like, is this a thing? And she was like, oh, now that you're presenting it to me, I guess. When she didn't, no one told her not to. So she was like,
her laziness knows no bounds.
No bounds. I wish I could be this chill because my
dude,
God. I don't know how she
does
has
she
depression.
make it through life?
I don't know how she's even depressed. She doesn't do one thing. She's decisionless.
That's how.
She's getting hit by waves, whichever way they take her. She's in the middle of the ocean. She doesn't care.
But I don't get how, like, I guess success found her because Kyle is like, well, stop at nothing to be successful. So, like, him being on this show and having Loverboy is, like, why she had her jobs.
I mean, the swimwear thing she wanted so bad didn't even work out. Not because she didn't try, because she, like, barely did anything.
I think she got that because it was on TV of her, like,
100%.
crying because Kyle wanted to be a DJ. So then some company reached out to her. She didn't, there's no way she prospected that herself.
No, she wouldn't have gotten that without Kyle being, Kyle being the mean husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway. Amanda's biggest frustration with Kyle is his drinking. And Frank's like, oh, is he just out or is he DJing? Because I think Frank is like, if he's DJing, then... And Amanda's
that makes sense.
Amanda's like, no. Like, I know I have my own shit to work on, but Kyle... He has a lot of shit going on, like bringing home strangers. And now I can keep my apartment nice and tidy of strangers. And I'm like, girl.
She said, I can now keep my apartment clean. Bitch, you're the problem. You're not keeping that place clean. Look at it right now. And that you're going to go out now because that's all Kyle begged you for, but not with him.
No, because Frank's like, it's a compromise. So he'll stay in more with you and you'll go out more with him. And she's like, I'm not going out with him. I'm going out without him.
Which this again, I'm like, you don't want to be in this marriage. Just admit it. Save us all the pain and suffering of pretending this separation is going to work.
Amanda also has all these requirements for Kyle, but she's not going to compromise, as Frank is saying. So Frank's like, what if Kyle doesn't meet your expectation? And Amanda's like, then I might have to do something drastic I don't want to do. And I'm like, just say you're going to file for divorce. That's the other thing. She hasn't even decided what the threat would be.
There is no threat. This is why Kyle has never changed. The threat isn't there.
Yeah, I want to publicly apologize to Katie Holmes. I can't believe I compared this bitch to you.
Honestly.
You are way smarter and way more cunning.
What a disgrace you did to Katie Holmes all Summer House season.
And I love Katie Holmes so much. I'm like such a big fan.
I really thought her parents, though, like Amanda's parents, were doing more work behind the scenes. Like
agree.
We know Amanda isn't that big of a go-getter, but I just assumed she was confiding in her parents. And her parents were like, okay, here are the steps we're going to take over the next few months. And if he doesn't shape up, because they did that with the wedding. Like, if Kyle got too drunk that summer, they made him sign a letter that if they called off the wedding, he was going to have to pay for it. Like, I just assumed that they were doing that type of stuff behind the scenes.
Agreed. And I'm not going to go as far to say my dad is my protector, but I think just all dads want to protect their daughters in a way. I feel like if I had if I was on a TV show and my dad saw me in this relationship, he would have already moved me out. He would have been like, we're not fucking doing this.
When I did that series, the like Call a Lawyer series about Amanda and Kyle, like, would he have made me get a prenup? And he was like, I can't force you to do anything, but like, we would have talked about a lot of stuff. And it's like, it just doesn't feel like, Amanda's family is as involved as I just assumed they would be based on what we've seen in past
with the wedding
versions of Summer House.
And how upset like Frank is usually at Kyle. You know what I mean? I just feel like, if my dad had watched me be Amanda on a show, he would have at least sat me down and been like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, let's have the honest conversation. What are you doing?
You're so unhappy. So, like, what do we need? I know my dad has had, like, conversations with my sister about her life, not necessarily, like, a divorce or anything, but it's like, when you clearly see that somebody's unhappy, and you sit them down and they're in a serious relationship, they have kids, like, they have a life, you as a parent are trying to guide them. And Amanda's parents are that involved.
I agree.
That I'm like,
she's close with
this
her parents.
Conversation is weird to me.
She's close with her parents, and even if she doesn't tell her parents things, it's public now. I don't know. And
they're physically close. Like, you and I live further away from our parents than she lives from hers. Like, they're involved in her and Kyle's life. Even Kyle's parents are involved in their marriage. It's very interesting.
I'm like fascinated
to watch this conversation.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to Williamsburg. So we're going to that golf simulation thing with the boys. God. Okay, go golf.
Boys night.
Andrea's my favorite because he doesn't know how to golf. I love a man that doesn't know how to golf.
Oh
my
my
type.
God. And he was so pure. He's like, but how do I swing it? What am I doing?
Yeah, so cute. So we have Andrea, Owen, Kenny, Gavin, who shows up in Kenny's pants, Nick, and Kyle. Kenny and Gavin have been friends for 15 years. And even though Gavin's wearing Kenny's pants, Kenny would never borrow Gavin's clothes. He's not that short. Haha. Funny.
I don't get how Gavin is wearing Kenny's pants.
Because Kenny's seems taller.
I know.
And the pants, I feel like, would be a different seam
And it's
size.
not like Kenny is all torso. It's like you can clearly see their legs are different heights.
Yep.
But whatever.
Yeah, I assume he rolled them at the bottom, but I didn't get a good angle.
Okay.
So we golf a little. We talk about when Kyle's going to get laid. Never. Probably. Kyle says he appreciates, though, how helpful the boys have been. He had the boys over at his new cluttered apartment, hopefully less cluttered, for some beers. And he told them about Amanda leaving in the middle of his investor call, which is even funnier because the way, that's so embarrassing.
The fact that was actually a very important call is insane.
I'm leaving right now. Okay.
I have had to have my parents come to my apartment during a client call. And I was like, no speaking, immediately walk into my apartment, immediately walk into my bedroom. Like,
100%.
Do not make a noise. I am busy. And this is important. I cannot imagine having an investor call. And my wife doesn't give a shit about how important that is.
And then you have to be like, I'm so sorry, my wife is leaving me for a year.
Me because she's separating from me and wants me to talk to her right now.
Oh, as someone in corporate America, I know you and I both were just like, oh, that's just worse somehow. Like, it was so bad. Like,
it's horrible.
I'm sweating
especially
thinking about it.
Kyle's business is in the gutter right now.
Yeah, 100%. So Kenny wants to know, which honestly, Kenny, fair. He wants to know what's keeping Kyle fighting for something that we don't even know what he's fighting for at this point. Is it worth it? Kyle says it's scary to start over, and Owen spelled Eon says if Kyle feels, or he asks if Kyle feels sad about the situation because all breakups suck, or is it genuinely like Amanda? You know, which is a fair question, Owen.
Oh, God. This is like so hard to watch Kyle talk about it because I can also tell Kyle does not want to change who he is for this because this is a pretty easy, well, I won't say easy thing to fix, but it's easy to identify what the issues are in their marriage. And if Kyle would just stop going out so late, stop being the party guy, the social guy, all of that stuff, it would fix, I think, 25% of this marriage and like the idea of it, and they could actually start to work through things. But Kyle doesn't want to change who he is. This is who he is. So I think Kyle is slowly like, yeah, no, this separation's dumb. Like, what am I, like, I'm not doing this.
Change who he is for the chance that Amanda might come back at this point? No thanks.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's like tried to like do stints of changing, right, in the years, and nothing has actually changed in their relationship. So whatever.
But also Amanda's not really identifying anything she's gonna change. So like if you're not changing anything, why am I gonna change anything?
Well, she's not even letting him make decisions.
No.
Which is weird because she hates making decisions.
So true.
So we transition then into Owen's divorce, and Gavin asks about Owen's marriage. We find out he was married for 4 years, and he did not meet Danielle when he was married.
Okay,
which I thought that they did.
No. I think I'm gonna have to look this up. I think in that first episode, I'm pretty sure Danielle said that her and Owens/Eon met 10 years ago. They didn't date. They just met each other. He obviously went on to get married, and then they reconnected after he separated from his wife.
Like, maybe
I think he like DM'd her.
He did not meet her when married then.
Yeah.
He's right. I think you're right. Okay, so Gavin says he doesn't want to ask too many questions, but he is trying to pry. And Owen spelled Eon is like, yeah, because I won't give you many answers, which
I find weird.
I kind of like Owen. Really, I liked that.
Well, I think, like, these guys should be able to ask questions and get to know you. And, like, Gavin clearly is trying to be messy, so I get being like, listen, I'm not getting messy with you, but if people have some questions like how long have you been married? How's the divorce going? Like kind of like checking in on you type questions. Like it's weird to be like, I'm not going to answer them.
I think that's fair. I think the way Gavin was asking the questions, if he was
in a messy
asking me
way.
these questions too, I'd be like, I'm not telling you. Because it started with like Owen saying, oh, Kyle, are you actually sad about the situation? Are you sad of the breakup? And then Gavin was like, because Owen said all breakups are sad. And Gavin was like, oh, was your divorce sad? And Owen's like, all breakups are sad. And he's like, tell me about this divorce. And
that's
Owen's
a good point. Like, you know the intentions aren't good. I think he just like is, you can tell in his conversation he does put all like a wall up though. That's for the audience sake. It's like this, it doesn't read well for me to be like, oh, you're not going to talk about this.
I think the problem is Gavin. I think the way he was doing it, I think if it was like Nick genuinely asking or like Kyle genuinely being like, what was your divorce like? Because I might be going through that.
Yeah,
but Gavin
that's true.
genuinely was coming. I think sometimes the way I like Gavin being messy, but I think sometimes the way he approaches things is not met with like the care of how like a friend or like a person with empathy should ask. Because he even I loved when he came at Whitney and Kenny a few episodes ago. But if I was mostly honestly Whitney, I'd be fucking pissed.
It causes the person he's like going after to immediately shut down and get snippy,
get defensive.
Yeah, and obviously then that annoys Gavin. But you're right.
It's the way Gavin does it.
He doesn't have pure intentions coming at this. But I hope there's a conversation where Owen does sit down with somebody.
I agree.
More caring with the story, because this is the shit I want to know. So I'm like, no, answer these questions.
Well, Owen says he is separated, not divorced. He's going through the divorce process. These men know nothing about divorce, and Owen's not about to tell them. So
that's the thing. I was like, at least correct them on the manner of divorcing. Like, they just think you like submit one piece of paper and sign it and you're good.
Well, Kenny's sitting there and he's like, okay, my guess is that when you file, you're separated, and then you're divorced once you're finished filing. Right?
Like, okay, way to say nothing.
And then Gavin goes, do you know that so well because that's where you're headed? To which I was like, what are you talking about? He's not even married.
That was so unnecessary, because if Kenny knew the divorce law perfectly, okay, maybe this comment could be interesting. Kenny knew nothing.
It's not even right.
Kenny knew absolutely nothing about a divorce. So
I don't know anything,
doesn't even
but
fit with the shade.
And also, that's such a weird thing to say to someone who's not even married. Are you headed towards a divorce?
Yeah.
Sir, my girlfriend just moved across the country into my apartment.
What are we talking about? The whole storyline this summer is that they're not even going to survive dating. Yeah, so I don't think divorce is on our radar.
I don't even have a spark. What are you talking about? A ring? So Kenny says Gavin can't string a relationship together for 3 months. And that's why he tries to sabotage every other relationship.
Oof.
And Kenny says that Gavin thrives off of toxicity, which he doesn't have, which I think both of you suck. You know, when you watch two people you kind of hate argue and you're like, I couldn't care what's happening.
This is so dumb. And I'm like, what are you guys fighting about?
What are you fighting about?
Neither of you, have I've not seen that either of you can hold like a healthy, well-balanced relationship. Like, stop.
Just whip your dicks out and tell Kyle to get the tape measure at this point. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, because you guys aren't even doing it in a funny way where, like, because I love a good fight. This isn't entertaining. The last time, like, Gavin dug at Kenny and Whitney, that was entertaining. Yeah. This is not.
Well, because we were talking about something that happened. This is like, are you getting a divorce? You're toxic. And it's like,
you and your potential divorce in 10 years because you can't hold a relationship. Neither can you. It's the big, like, I'm rubber, you're glue.
Yeah, okay. So Gavin says he's excited for Kenny, and Kenny says Gavin has a level of hate towards his relationship. And Gavin's like, oh, hate. And Kenny says Gavin told Whitney she was boring, which I was like, indirectly. He
didn't. But he didn't even indirectly say that. He just said, do you need more from her? Like more spice? Like, that doesn't mean she's boring. It just means like Kenny lives a fast-paced life and maybe Whitney's isn't the same level.
And, like, if boring works for you, hey, my parents have the most boring lives. They've been married for over 30 years, okay? If that's what you want is to be married, live a boring life. Those exciting relationships usually mostly end in divorce, so
Very good
what
point.
Are we talking about? If you
I
want
feel
to
like
get divorced,
Whitney
be exciting.
took way too much offense to this. Like,
Agreed.
it's like, girl, get a grip. If you're letting Gavin, of all people, tell you you're boring and you're getting, like, up in arms about it, that tells me you are boring.
Also, boring, exciting, it's all subjective, okay?
Correct.
I think it's boring to go play golf, but you guys seem to be having a lot of fun. Okay, I got excited about a puzzle recently, which sounds boring to a lot of people, but I was having a great time. What? Okay.
Yeah, who cares about this little man who, like, yells at you guys all the time? Who cares about his opinion, Whitney?
Literally. So Gavin says his bad. Kenny and Whitney are perfect. And Kenny doesn't know where this hate's coming from. He says he needs to check Gavin. And Gavin says he loves Kenny's relationship. He's like, I love it so much. And Kenny's like, okay, use your words, bitch. And I was like, we're all using words.
God.
And Nick is sitting there and he's like, this is awesome. Usually they're yelling at me. And then that's how it ends.
This was so dumb. Because I did agree with Gavin in that other conversation where it's like, if your life is picture perfect, like, you're not showing something. Like, nobody's life is perfect.
If you had comments before to say and now they're coming out, there might be something there.
Yes. Yeah. So, like, let's just be honest. And so, like, I do feel like, though, while Gavin's intentions are messy, with Kenny, they're more pure in just saying, like, hey, like, these are where, like, the issues might be that you're saying, like, the spark might be missing. I'm just trying to investigate this with you. And I feel like he's just being attacked for saying any commentary about Kenny's relationship. Kenny gets very defensive on any commentary about the relationship.
It's
and, like,
giving Brittany
immediately Gavin shuts down. He's like, I'll never talk about it again.
It's giving Brittany, where it's like, you can't talk about my relationship or else I'll come for you.
Which is crazy because, like, they get to talk about everybody else. So, like, you're on the table. You're on this fucking show.
I also think, though, Gavin, you don't have to make all these fucking digs, dude. You could just, take a beat.
No, you do need to take a breath. You're like, hey, maybe there isn't as much spice to this. Wasn't a dig, and Whitney's taking it as a dig, but now you are doing digs, and so it's getting worse.
That don't even make sense.
Yeah, they're not even funny. You were funny last time.
Yeah, last time I was in on it, but this time I don't get it.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
So now we go to, I don't know what neighborhood. I would assume maybe like East Village, Fide area.
Okay.
But Lindsay, Yvonne, and Lexi are at the drugstore and they're looking for test strips for their ovulation.
Okay, this is so funny. This is the second time we're in a store.
Yeah.
As a scene and we're just standing in an aisle.
Yep.
Like, okay.
So Lindsay is explaining to them how to track your period in the app and figure out how ovulation works in the app. And she tells them there's only 12 hours in the whole month that you can get pregnant, which I don't know about, like, once you hit your 30s, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm sure, like, there's 12 hours every month that, you know, you're most likely to be pregnant. I don't know about withering ovaries like myself, because I'm not trying to get pregnant.
I have no idea at all. Like, we're not taught this stuff. I've, like, learned stuff over the years. Like, I know there's, like, a section of time, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the actual, like, ovulation is. I know the estimate, like, is, like, 3 days, but I don't
need to know. I'm not trying to get pregnant.
We should know, though, because that's how you prevent getting pregnant.
I am, though, gonna just tell you what I learned from Teen Mom on MTV. You can get pregnant at any time, anywhere, okay? So always practice safe sex.
If you get pregnant, you will die.
You'll die. 100%, okay? So, Andrea and Lexi, okay, as hot as Andrea is, and, like, as much as I love In the City, this is disgusting.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm so glad.
They're banging like rabbits. To the point that Andrea's in tears from having too much sex.
Like, I don't need to know that, and I don't believe this.
Disgusting.
What I hated more is then we get the clip of them laying in bed as if they just banged, and then they let a camera crew in.
Yeah, this is disgusting. I've never disliked Andrea, and then I saw this and went, I don't know.
I never need to hear that a man is crying because he's having too much sex because they're trying to conceive a child, while also not only being verbally told that, but then watching it happen.
A part of me giggled though, because I was like, you just know Andrea loves to make love. And Lexi's like, let's bang one out. And he's like, I
Yeah.
can't perform like that. I'm an
100%.
Italian. You know what I mean?
100%.
And then we see him like doing jump rope to get the stamina up. And I was like, oh my God, this is disgusting.
It's too forced. Like, I don't like whenever we fake a scene to make this shit fit. Like, this felt like they were like, oh, we need you to describe this, like a pickup scene where we're gonna do this so then it fits into our story.
Yeah. And then even Nick and Andrea are out running to get the stamina together.
Why did I need the third perspective? I didn't need the girls saying this. I didn't need Andrea and Lexi saying it together. I didn't need the guys doing it. And all three of them set me to the moon.
Let me tell you this, everyone, okay? I don't need to know you're railing
Schedule
each other
fucking.
unprotected to like get children, okay? Just tell me you want children at some point and I'll assume what you're doing. I don't need to see it. I don't need to hear about it. I don't really want to hear about it. Never in my life have I asked my friend what position she was in when she conceived her baby. I don't even ask where. Why would I want to know?
I don't need to know these details. We're getting too close. We know too much about each other.
Unless you're Shannon Bedore and you conceived at a Def Leppard concert, I don't want to know.
Kind of vague. That was just like a place and a funny little bit. She wasn't telling us the time, the position, like the nitty gritty details. I don't need to be in your bedroom with you.
Okay, so back to the drugstore. They talk about positions, which they apparently doggy style is the way to go.
Like,
sure.
I don't fucking believe this shit. The position doesn't matter.
There's no way it can't. Well, Lindsay's like, I was in a backward bridge on the floor of my living room when I got pregnant.
And that tells me everything.
Which, can I also, how do you know the exact time? Because if you're banging like rabbits, it takes a while to like, for the pregnancy test to let you know. So if you have sex 5 days in a row and then you're pregnant a week later,
I know.
You don't know.
I know. I think Lindsay maybe could know more just because she wasn't banging like rabbits to get a baby.
Yeah.
But still, like, how do you actually know? And you know what I just realized? They're going to fucking ask a question at the reunion for all three women who are pregnant at that, what position they were in.
Disgusting. Well,
they all got pregnant, like, right as this is happening.
I'm exhausted. I mean, everyone's pregnant, and you know what? Mazel tov to you. I need a break.
Stop talking about your sex life like this.
I need a break. I don't care anymore.
Andrea
I'm so sorry.
needs a break. We need a break.
Andrea, come hang out with us for a day.
I
feel like you need it.
Andrea to the suburbs just to give him a break.
He might. But yeah, Yvonne learns that Lindsay's a freak. I love the way she says it, because that's how I would say it. I'd be like, ew, you're a freak, weirdo.
That's a crazy position.
I could have, honestly, that is Lindsay. And I liked Lindsay talking about it, because it's not just like, oh, I was really trying and I think doggy worked. It's like, I was literally like
having
in a
the
back
best sex
bed.
of my life.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing. And everyone's like, how would that even work? That's hilarious. But then we see a stranger is listening in a wheelchair, and we dub him the seated snooper.
Oh,
and he's listening to them talk about sex positions in this CVS drugstore.
Let's get the fuck out of this drugstore, everybody.
So we talk about why, as the seated snooper sits there, we talk about why Lindsay and Frank aren't having sex. Frank apparently wants to take it slow, and Yvonne's like, but you just want to fling. So like, why the fuck are we entertaining Frank the milkman?
I agree.
I'm with Yvonne on this too. And Lindsay says she has fun with Frank, which also fine if you just have fun like going out with a man, but
that's totally fine. If you just want to go on dates with him and you go on dates with him and you're satisfied in that, cool.
Sure.
But it doesn't sound like it's checking the boxes, because the whole thing Lindsay has been saying is she basically hasn't had sex for a year. So like, let's find that person, because also you can be with Milkman and go on your dates and go find somebody to bang.
Mm-hmm. So Yvonne's like, you're going on multiple dates with this guy. It sounds like you're in a relationship. You haven't even been fucked yet. Like, what are we doing?
It sounds like you're in Kyle and Amanda's relationship. Dead in the water.
And Lindsay's like, I can't just go outside and be like, hi, I'm going to fuck you. And it cuts to the seated snooper telling Lindsay, free milk. Disgusting. I hate New York sometimes.
Why did we do this? We didn't have to do this.
Go outside.
Go outside.
We don't have to do this here.
Move aisles. Like, try to walk away from this man.
Or just turn your back to him at least. My gosh. So
Hush tones,
Lindsay,
because you're wearing a microphone. We can catch everything.
we got it. So Lexi doesn't understand the issue because Frank and Lindsay are very casual. And Yvonne's like, I'm just looking out for Lindsay because she has a tendency to give more of herself to someone and not get what she wants in return.
Yes. There is a discrepancy in what Lindsay is saying she wants and what Milkman wants to give.
Also, we have seen Lindsay really pour fully into relationships and not be met with the same, what's the word I'm looking for? The same energy.
Care.
Yeah, the same energy. I think of Stravy from when we were in COVID.
100%. And Yvonne has been there through all of it. Like,
she's been here
you're
15
a new
years.
baby girl, Lexi. Like, sorry. This is my best friend. I'm going to have opinions.
Shut up. So Yvonne says Lindsay sucks at picking out guys, and Lindsay tends to jump into relationship. Which is Lindsay's MO a little bit, I think.
And it is concerning to just hear that, like, okay, we know what you want, you're not getting it, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna stick in it. Why? Like, you're not even giving a real reason, like, you're gonna pursue what you do want elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's tricky.
Yeah, so Lindsay and Lexi are like, what's your problem with Milkman? And Yvonne's like, I got no beef with the Milkman.
It's not about him. It's about what Lindsay wants.
Agreed. Lexi, leave the best friends to fight.
Lexi's on this like high and mighty horse with Andrea of like, we set them up. This is going to be magical. And it's like, okay, she doesn't need to get married here. She just needs to get laid.
Yeah. Lexi, calm down over there. Okay. So we go to the West Village. Kenny is waiting for his dad at a restaurant. Kenny's very nervous. And
God. When the producer gets involved, I was like, oh my God, this is like so real.
How are you feeling? Yeah, I was like, damn, they never do that.
No.
Well, I'm sure they do, but they never leave it in. You know what I mean? And then so Kenny's back is facing the door. And so Larry comes in and comes behind Kenny and gives him a big ol' hug. And they hug and they cry and they sit down to have a chat. Debbie, the wife, is so happy they found each other. They reminisce on one of Kenny's trips to London back when he was 14. Talk about how it's been 25 years of suppressed emotions for Kenny. I'm kind of going through this because I can't really do it justice, honestly. It was like a very beautiful scene.
They're so excited and happy, but I am still like, damn, you're better than me. Like, it is just, they fall right into it in a great way. I think this is awesome for them to build their relationship off of this positive energy. But I have this little thing in the back of my mind where I'm like, you guys hug immediately. I'm like, you are a stranger. I haven't seen you in 25 years. Who the fuck are you? Let's discuss what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I fear I also would be a little hesitant, angry.
It is not who I am, so it's hard for me to watch somebody just jump in because I would be standoffish at minimum.
But I think if you crave that relationship just as much, maybe you're willing to let it go, right? Like, my family member that abandoned me, I don't have a desire to ever have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
But maybe if I lost my parents or my family and they were the last living relative, I would be able to push forward
your excitement more.
Yes.
Especially in that first meeting. Yeah.
I wonder if that's it. I luckily am not in this position.
Yeah.
But
I'm so curious about Kenny and this dynamic. Like, this is one of my favorite storylines right now. So I'm eager for more information on how he's feeling, like what's going on.
So Kenny's dad is at peace because now he knows Kenny is fine and doing great. And Kenny tells Larry that his mom passed. Larry apologizes for not being in Kenny's life and not being someone that could have comforted Kenny in this hard time.
That was really sweet.
I think Larry does a really good job too to be like, I have a lot of regrets and I want you to know them.
Yeah, he doesn't act like things are perfect, but he's going into it with positivity and an upbeat personality, but the serious tones are there, which made me less doubtful on why they're approaching it this way, because they did hit on some serious topics.
Yeah. Because Larry says moving forward, he would like to be in Kenny's life, and this is unconditional. He's here for it. They ended their relationship on different terms. They were just in different countries. Larry had another family in England, and there is no resentment. There's definitely abandonment issues, and building this relationship with his dad could help Kenny with other relationships. And I think the most beautiful thing that Kenny's dad said was like, even if you don't want to continue a relationship with me, like this is enough just to know like you're good, have this moment, which I think is really nice, because I think what would maybe freak me out in this situation, even if I was able to push back through the resentment or whatever, if someone was like, now that we're in each other's lives and I have you back and we can hang out,
These
and
like expectations.
to be like, well, I need to process a lot too. I like that Kenny's dad is like, this is on your terms.
The ball is in your court,
be there.
And like, I will build a relationship with you. I don't expect that we have a relationship yet, even though I'm very excited about being here with you.
Like for every brick Kenny puts in, his dad will put 2 bricks in to build their house up, but he'll never like force Kenny to do more than he's ready for, and he'd never overwhelm Kenny, which I like.
Whatever position or place Kenny wants his dad to be in his life, he's in. He's happy just to have this meeting. And I think that gratitude and that, I don't know, like he was very humble about it and didn't expect anything. Like I liked that. And I thought that's a great way to like restart a relationship with your child.
100%. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
It really was.
Okay, so now we go to Fi-Dye. We're at Amanda's apartment with the insane outdoor space. And Kyle's here. His dog, Reese, is so happy to see him. Kyle tells us that Ryder, the other dog, is chill, but he's a little confused because Amanda's not there anymore.
No, I mean, I would be just as much confused if I was that dog.
So Kyle tells Amanda he assumed she would be taking more stuff because she had a moving
Look at how
company.
much space you have.
Yeah. And Kyle just wants to know, like, what the plan is. Because he says he's excited to feel like he has a home again. Because he's been overtaken by Amanda's shit.
I'd like it to be a little clean. We have double the space now. Let's spread out our assets.
And Amanda's like, oh, your home doesn't include me? And Kyle's like, I tried to have a home with you, but you're not there anymore. But your stuff sure is.
Dude, and you know it took him so much to ask this because he is not allowed to have an opinion about anything. So he's like, hey, just want to check in. What's the plan?
His question was literally, what is your plan?
Yeah.
So Kyle's like, or Amanda says, like, say the word and I'll move all my shit out. And Kyle's like, I don't want to rush you, but that sounds like a good idea.
Disturbing to watch because I don't believe in any good faith that she wants to be with him and the way she reacts to this stuff. He asks, what is the plan? What are you doing? So then he can adjust around it. And she immediately like attacks him for, he didn't even say it, but just like one of the options of what is the plan is like, are you moving more stuff out so then I can organize this space as I see fit? And immediately she acts like he doesn't want to be together with her. And it's like, you chose to move out. You chose not to take your stuff. He has every right to want to organize that space and feel good in the home he lays his head in every night. And you are no longer a person who lays your head there. That's his place to see fit. And if he wants all your shit out, he should say it.
Are you ready for this one? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to piss you off.
Get 10 times more angry.
She says, as a reminder, this is a temporary move.
I needed that reminder because your actions don't fucking say that.
Well, Kyle's like, okay, well, I think you think that there's a plan. I'm just confused on what that plan is.
There is no plan, babe. There is no plan.
And Amanda's like, maybe if you were around while I was moving, you would know the plan. She just speaks it when he's not home. She's like, this is the plan.
Well, it's like, okay, so sorry we had a 10-minute window to make the plan.
Yeah. I was actually on a call with the investors, but okay, and you still didn't give me a plan.
We were going to separate like 3 weeks ago, and we're finally separating. You had plenty of time to make a plan. And if you wanted to make a plan with me, you got to tell me when we're going to make the plan, and I'll be there. But you never once said you wanted to make a plan that Sunday night. You just assumed that I should know that that was a very serious night. And yes, it was in the, like, what the idea of it, her being, like, the last night, serious. But there was no planning that I knew about.
If you've been talking about moving out for a really long time at this point, but you haven't told me the plan, and then you want me to know that the plan is going to be on your last night when you're also packing, because I bet your ass if Kyle had shown up and said, what's the plan? She would have been like, Kyle, I'm packing right now.
I'm overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm leaving right now, whatever.
And again, he doesn't ever get an opinion on this. Every time he has tried to give an opinion on it, she shoots him down and yells at him. So why is he going to try to get the plan moving? You're going to yell at him.
My ass would have said, what's the plan? Because if you have 30 days and 29 nights to get your shit out before it ends up in the New York dump, for all I care, give it to the person on the corner.
Yeah, but
Hope they enjoy.
She wants him to make these moves. She wants him to make all these calls because then he looks like the villain of this. He looks like he's trying to move her out. It's all this stuff. It's like her needing to be the victim of Kyle Cook forever.
So that she can... That's the decision then.
Yep.
So they talk about what happened when Amanda was leaving on Marathon Sunday. And Amanda's mad that Kyle brought back strangers, drunk. These were fans, she said.
Oh, when she said fans, I was like, get a grip, Amanda.
Well, Kyle's like, do I owe you updates on where I am? You're leaving. And Kyle says he did act out and he gets that. He's stressed at work. And Amanda says she's dealing with the stress of their marriage. So why would she ask him about the stress at work?
Is he not also dealing with that?
No, honestly, no. Honestly, not really, no.
Wait, but she acts like that's some big to-do. Like a dying parent. It's like, you are dealing with the stress of your marriage, correct. But what are you doing to navigate that? You're doing nothing. You're moving out. You're running away from it. And you're going to yell at him because he's also running away in a different way?
Mm-hmm.
Pot kettle.
Oh, you're right. They're both running away. Just one's doing it sober and the other's not.
Well, and one's doing it for one night and the other person's doing it for a year.
Well, yeah, I will say Kyle's been out for a long time.
Also does it every day, but his isn't a consistent runaway. His is just randomly. Hers is, well, it will be for the next year for sure.
Yeah. So Kyle says that when she barged in, he was on a call with investors for a $5 million check. And
Dude.
Amanda... That's crazy. Listen, as someone who's in finance, that is the great.
That is life-changing.
Oh, man. And Amanda just claps and goes, congratulations.
I was like, that is so rude. Even if I hated you, that is monumental.
Yeah.
I hope it went well. I would feel so bad about disrupting that for anybody.
I know he would never, and I know it's probably in his best interest he doesn't. If I was Kyle, I would have said, well, without this $5 million, you're getting half of the debt when you divorce me.
Well,
so
we know that we're still waiting on a conversation where basically she's like, are you threatening me? And it's like, I can see why he's going to threaten you now. You're ruining any chance he has to save Loverboy and make you not responsible for that $500,000 loan.
I'd be like, yeah, I am threatening you. You're going to get half the debt.
Yeah.
Hope you can afford it.
Up. You wanted to play? You're playing with fire. Come on.
We can play.
Yeah.
See, this is where people need to be a little more petty. And I get it. He shouldn't.
Yes.
It's for his best interest. He's not. I would kill my own life on TV because I cannot see past my own pettiness.
Yeah, but it's smart of him at this point when they were filming it to not be petty because you don't know what you don't know. But now if they go back and film In the City season 2, be petty. He has every reason and excuse and everybody will back him up. Be petty. It's like when we were on Amanda's side, their whole marriage, when she called him 72 times and she threw all of this shit out, we were like, do it. Do it. Now Kyle gets to benefit from that.
Do it. Hell yeah. So Kyle gets pissed that Amanda doesn't give a fuck that he's in debt. And Amanda's like, why would I care if all you do is put me down? And Kyle finally says, Amanda seems like she doesn't see a future because if she did, she would care. And I went,
welcome.
There you go. Wow. The clouds have moved. The sun is shining.
Kyle's eyes are open. Stick with that energy, Kyle. Stick with that.
But then Kyle kills it because he's like, you never ask me questions. I'm like, oh my God, just, ugh.
It's crazy because, he said all this stuff last summer and, we made fun of him for a lot of it. And I'm like, ooh, I feel kind of bad. She doesn't ask questions. She doesn't care about the business. Their apartment is a mess. We, gave her so much benefit of the doubt because we never really saw their city life. And
Yeah.
now we are getting a peek behind the curtain. And that's why I like this show a lot, is it is a completely different pace of the life that we've seen them
Yeah.
live for 10 years.
Here's what I'll say, because we're getting a look behind the curtain. Kyle, fully I apologize for when you called Amanda lazy, because you were right. Now,
Yeah.
the questions thing, I still think is like a little
He
crazy.
needs to learn how to bring stuff up without having like to wait for her to ask
Yeah.
questions.
However, I will say, questions or not, she does not give a shit about
Yeah.
you, my guy. Apologies that I thought she might have. She really doesn't.
Yeah, I thought you were just not communicating with her well.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be communicated to.
Yeah. So Amanda's like, well, you can't stop drinking and staying out late. They're basically getting nowhere. It's the same fight we've seen for 10
I
plus
was like,
years.
please don't do this to me. It's like, I've seen my parents go through the same arguments. I've seen Kyle and Amanda go through the same arguments.
Yeah.
Why, don't make me sit through this again.
You know what? You know what we should do? We should bring up the time that he cheated on Amanda for the 1000th
I was like,
time.
Amanda.
Well,
this is
Amanda's
the one
like,
thing you and I get pissed off about.
No? What do we always say, Meredith? What do we always say?
You chose to say you gotta move on.
You can't complain.
Especially in this one. It has been like 7 years.
If you're going to choose to stay with them, you have to forgive them. There's no bringing it up every time you're upset. You could have left. You could have left as the hero, the victim, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But you cannot bring this up 1,000
You erased what he did when you chose to stay. But actually, go through your notes, because I think this is a different incident she's saying.
Okay, so she's like, remember when you cheated on me 10 years ago? Because nothing's changed. And then she talks about how there was a time when they had just gotten married and Kyle made out with someone, which was not the original cheating thing that we heard.
It wasn't the original cheating thing that we knew coming into season 3, and not the one that Lindsay brought up in season 3 that turned out to potentially be false.
Yes. So this was a new one. They had just gotten married. And then she says a time before then when a girl said Kyle was handsy with her. And I said, release the tape of him making out with a girl. Let me see it.
That's the thing. When she said she had a video, I was like, show it. I'm tired of her just
not married
alluding
anymore
to all of these things. Air it all out there, because, I mean, I am on your side when Kyle's a shitty husband to you from
100%.
the past 10 years. The last, 3 months of your marriage, not really. But because you're not putting in effort too, so why does he have to? But everything else, let's air it out, because I am on your side, even given the West stuff. I'll roast him alive with you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. At this point, he's not your husband. Okay? I've already seen him on his tippy toes with Megan King Edmonds, okay? Release the tape of this. I'm not going to care, honestly,
and
at
the
this
DMs,
point.
where she says,
Release the DMs.
he was, flirting and handsy with somebody. I just am tired of her playing coy and trying to villainize him with just, hearsay and, yeah, he did do that. Release the tapes. Give me some proof, because you have never once shown me proof. So, to be honest, I'm doubting you now. And it's a little convenient when you're saying this shit in your interview chair and you've just hooked up with your guys' friend.
To be quite honest, it surprises me that this makeout video was never released. Post them getting married, that was 2021? 2022? Yeah.
It was 2021.
I understand if there was a video from 2016. Okay, the internet wasn't what it was. 2021, that was post-COVID. I was getting videos of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen everyone cheat at this point. Release the tape. He's not your husband anymore.
Sketchy video of Kyle in Republic, and I don't think they were at Republic actually, but in a Charleston bar when he DJ'd there, where it's you can't tell what they're doing, him and a girl, they could just be talking, but they were very close with their faces, but it was so dark you couldn't see. We've seen everything. Release this tape. To the girl who has it, release the tape.
Release it. Give it to anyone at this point. I'll release it for you.
There's no way you don't still have it. If you made out with Kyle Cook when he was married, you'd keep that.
The shit I have on my phone for just in case that's not even as juicy as this, please.
I still have screenshots dating back to meeting in college with boys I hooked up with, because you just never know when you need to release the tapes again.
Right, here's the thing. Yeah, Amanda, I want to believe you, but you're not exactly the most truthful person at this point, okay? You were lying to Sierra, you were lying to Kyle, you're hooking up with Wes, you don't know how to take accountability, so just release the tape. Honestly, it'll help you out a little bit.
That is, you don't have a backbone.
No, neither
So,
of them honestly do.
Get one today. Rent one from the library and come out with the tapes.
When it comes to each other, they like for some reason just cannot.
They pussyfoot
stand
around.
10-toe. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the weirdest thing.
It pisses me off because they bring their anger in full force, but not their accusations and any follow through. And so I'm like, stop with this bullshit then. Stand on it or let it go.
Yeah. So Kyle says Amanda holds everything over his head. And like Amanda's like, I fear you're not capable to give me my needs. And I just want to say, these two arguing, they're my sleep paralysis demons. Like, I was watching this like, when's the nightmare end?
When she said, I fear you can't, I was like, bitch, we already know he can't meet your demands.
When did you figure it out? When did you figure that one out?
When did the fear start? Because it should have started on day one of the relationship.
Okay, well, next time on In the City, Yvonne and Nick have their wedding dinner / celebration, but Yvonne gets mad about fighting. We got lots of fights. Gavin, Danielle, Lindsay, Kyle, all the fights.
I'm so excited.
I fear it's going to be very hard to track all these people yelling, but I'm going to do my best.
And a teaser for you is Kyle issued an apology after that episode on Threads. I'll have to go back and find it again. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Are people mad at him?
I'm so excited to watch this ever since I saw a few like little things on socials.
Are people still mad at him?
I don't think so, but I think it was like oops, sorry about that. You know,
okay.
There was just so much fighting at a wedding. You're like, I got it. You know what? Kyle's trying to be someone that people root for these days. So he's going by the book.
He's doing a great job.
He is.
He's doing it right. Anyway, okay, time for my favorite segment. We got In the City or Out to the Suburbs, where we pick one person to keep in the city with us and one person to boot out to Jersey because fuck you. Okay, and it's even numbers, so that means it's my turn. I'm going to go good first. I'm going to pick In the City. I'm going to pick Yvonne.
Oh, I
gotta pick Yvonne. I like that she got married. I like that she's standing up for like what she knows about Lindsay. I really just love like when friends are able to see past what you're saying and like be conscious of you without you having to tell them. Like I really love that. And I just really like Yvonne. She's growing on me. I agree.
Their friendship is very sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give mine to Kenny. I think him reuniting with his dad is everything. And I think it's so beautiful that he went in open-hearted and like they were so excited and had two really beautiful conversations in this episode.
Thank God you picked him because I thought about it, but I think it's too soon. I think we're moving too fast.
I agree.
Okay, great.
We're jumping in too deep in this like relationship.
He's not going to be to the suburbs for me. It's going to be Amanda. Listen up, girl. $5 million? I hope Kyle serves you with his fucking debt. And girl, Frank Batula's got no idea what you were planning. You got zero decisions. You're bugging the shit out of me. And honestly, I do think even without the West bullshit, I would have been tired of you by this episode. This would have been the episode.
I know. Double it because I cannot stand her.
I'm leaving right now. I can't.
Finding out more details about her, like the day she left that apartment and that Kyle was on an investor call is crazy work. And how she acted in that last scene was gross.
Yeah, dude, fuck you. The fact that like, you're not in a marriage. You don't want to be here. So leave.
No.
Like I get so annoyed when people complain and it's a bad situation and do nothing. And I get it. To some extent, I love to complain about my job. I love to complain in general. But this is to the point where it's toxic for everyone involved.
That's the thing is they're on a loop of 3 things they're complaining about and like you can solve this. I feel like when we complain about our jobs or like people in general are like just lighthearted complainers, it's like, oh my God, this person said this to me today. It's like a new thing that we're annoyed about that pissed us off that day. And that's not what they're doing. The fact that Amanda brought up the cheating from years ago is crazy.
The fact that the first thing she was like, remember when you cheated on me 10 years ago? Girl, 10 years ago, you were a side piece. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so sick of it. Anyway, Kyle, you're on the way back. I always had a soft spot for Kyle. You were sick of him. I always had a little softie.
I love to hate him. I think he's really fun and he's really bad. And sometimes they're happening at the same time, sometimes they're not. And I can always appreciate Kyle for who he is and the character he is.
Yeah.
However, in his marriage, he was the bigger party.
Yeah.
And I will always call that out. However, Amanda, you are quickly changing that percentage to like a 60-40.
Isn't it interesting what you see on weekends, but then you let us into your house for the week?
I'm telling you, that curtain being drawn back has been crazy.
Ooh, I'm curious.
You would think they would be worse, or we would see more when it's 24/7 surveillance.
Mm-hmm. And we saw a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if like her friends from Summer House that were very like pro her, anti her marriage, then like in the city saw further if they still kept that like wall up. Because Amanda seems to be very good at like keeping people like out of her apartment, out of her
she
like only
ghosted a lot of
showing what
people
she
from
wants.
Summer House in the off season.
Yeah, so I just
they talked about it. Her and Paige went on Sierra and Mia's, was it Mia? Was her name Mia?
Maya.
Maya's podcast when they had one. And they all talked about how Amanda ghosted them. Like, will ghost them during the like off season. She just won't text people back.
It's like interesting. It's like very Amanda's fascinating. We should psychoanalyze her like a professional should.
I need a professional to do that because like I will never, because I don't know anything.
I don't know enough.
But
I'm
fascinated
because I don't get her. You know what I mean?
No. All I know is she loves to be the victim. It's like she thrives in that. And so like I can constantly see her setting up scenarios where she gets to yell that she's the victim of Kyle.
Yeah. And I'm sure people have done it, but like I need it beyond the West situation. I need us to go back to like season 1 and 2. Start psychoanalyzing her then and like give me a full breakdown of her. She's fascinating. Anyway, what a fun show. I hate when I see all of this hate on it. It's a 10 out of 10, honestly,
I don't
so
get
far.
how it's like
I'm having
ranking
fun.
low. I think it's so good.
I'm only docking a point because I've learned way too much about everyone's sex life. But other than that, great show. And we'll be back to cover another episode. Do all the things I mentioned at the beginning. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.